Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Hey, good evening, wrestling fans. I know we're getting started a couple of minutes early, and I apologize for that. But we have just got some breaking news out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, about another match that has been added to the card on May 30th. Show coming up? No, May 29th. I'm sorry, May 29th, Saturday, May 29th. So I have got to update our slideshow real quick. And I'm going to do that. Just bear with me here. Live TV. So much fun. Bear with me here. I'm going to get this added to our slideshow. And then we will get going officially. And folks, welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling, live from the PWD studios in Concord, North Carolina. I am Mad Matt Carter. Good to have you with us. And as soon as I can get things straightened out here, again, working off of one monitor. So just bear with me. And I see one Nate Diamond has joined us tonight. Oh boy, I am stoked about this. Welcome, Nate. Good to have you along with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a great honor, Nate. And we've certainly got a lot to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, Bad Brad cannot be with us tonight, but we look forward to him joining us next week. And got some breaking news out of Mount Airy. So, Nate, I will do my traditional and go through the announcements real quick, and then we'll get started in our one-on-one conversation. Sound good?
Sounds great. Look forward to it.
All right. And I see Dorothy Gray has also joined us, so she may have some questions for us before the night is through. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will go through the announcements here as soon as I can get slideshow going. I get nervous in these things and all of a sudden forget how to operate the PowerPoint. Anyway, folks, for advertising inquiries on the AIWF Roku channel, please email us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. You definitely want to check out the Roku channel. It's pretty great. And we're adding new content all the time. And we're going to be having Spring Jam is going to be posted on there very soon in its entirety for you folks that weren't able to be with us in Mount Airy. So let's start our way through the announcement. Check it out. Friday, May 21st. That is tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Admission $30. Get ready for a training seminar with Brutal Bob Evans up in Hamilton, Ohio. Our friends at Future Great Wrestling presenting that event. FGW Arena, the address there, 190 North Brookwood Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio. And there's a training seminar with Brutal Bob Evans. And you can see the great sponsors there. Be very informative for some of you up and coming wrestlers. Again, that tomorrow night, and the admission for that is $30. Quite a bargain to learn from a veteran. Also, news from our friends down in New Bern at Shockwave Wrestling coming your way. They are actually having a show this Saturday night, May 22nd. And here is the note from Frankie Fontaine. I'll read it to you. Hello, Sheeple. This Saturday, May 22nd at 6 p.m., Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment will showcase up-and-coming talent at the Craven County Jaycees Spring Fair at the Craven County Jaycees Fairgrounds. Future Shock will have in action Orlando Black, Anthony Xavier, Zach Ramses, a.k.a. Isaiah Fraser, AC Divine, Zach Harley. Some of our best, Matt Maven will be there. Oh, watch out. Nemesis, Vinny DiMucci, Adam Eden, Rock Richards, New Livewire champion Trey Havoc, and many more. Tickets on sale now. The spring fair opens on Wednesday and continues until Sunday. So if you actually needed more of a reason to take a trip to New Bern besides New Bern, you're going to have wrestling and the spring fair. So definitely worth your way. If you're in the eastern part of North Carolina, definitely head down there. The mask mandate's been lifted here in North Carolina, and so have the limits for attendance and everything. So be sure you join our friends in New Bern for Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment on this Saturday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. at the fair. WDWA Pro Wrestling has a big event coming up Saturday night at Custom Creations. That, of course, in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Bell time at 6 p.m. The doors open at 5. You can see some of the great stars that'll be there. AJ Kazana will be there. Keikoa will be there. Shane Malice, Big Money Inc., Kevin Mears, Crash Cassidy, and all the others. All seats for this one, folks, $15. And of course, the address, Custom Creation, 605B Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia. And if you've got any questions about this program, give them a call at 681-247-2460. And of course, before that, check this out. We're talking about training seminars. The Hawaiian Warrior Keikoa is going to be talking with wrestlers. And look at this, folks, only a cost of $10 for this seminar. He'll be going over diet and nutrition, conditioning, how you can increase your bookings, how you can increase your value, your in-ring work, and how to prepare for your tryout. And that, of course, is at the same location, the WDWA Training Center. It starts at 2:30 p.m. and ends at 4, and the cost only $10 there. And you can see for more info, visit their Facebook page at WDWA Wrestling at Facebook.com. Big one coming up down in outside Oak City in Oklahoma, Lucha. And I'm sorry, fans, they did put out a new poster for this today, but I didn't get it until it was too late to put it on the show. But the event is still the same. Bell time still the same. Cost of admission still the same. AIWF affiliate is down there in Oak City, Midwest City. It says that the American Legion, which I looked it up, is right outside Oak City, I believe to the east of Oak City. But that big event coming up Saturday night, bell time 6 p.m. Only $10 will get you in to that. And of course, we visit my home base, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, coming back to Veterans Park Saturday, May 29th. Let's talk Extreme. And yes, fans, this will be the last show before Extreme content coming up on June 19th. So this is Saturday, May 29th. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And as you can see, as usual, very affordable ticket prices. $7 for the floor, $5 for the bleachers. But come on, folks, the grandstand at Veterans Park, there's not a bad seat in the house. And of course, the best concessions in wrestling are there in AIWF Mid-Atlantic. And of course, that is brought to you by King's Hot Dogs. And speaking of King's Hot Dogs, look what I got in the mail today. If you're a AAA member, you know you get the copy of Go Magazine. And this month, this quarter, Dolly Parton's on the cover and gives an interview in there and talks about some of the things she's up to. But if you flip to page 28, it's got Taste of the Carolinas feature in there, Dog Days of Summer, and they compiled a list of their favorite hot dog joints in North and South Carolina. And on that list, fourth one down, is our friends at King's Hot Dogs. They made the magazine. Check this out. This is a very nice thing they had to say about them. It said, this popular spot has been a community hub for more than 4 decades. Current owners Joel and Jeff Harris have been at the helm since 2002 and continue to serve up the hot dogs and burgers that draw locals and road trippers alike. If a normal-sized hot dog won't curb your appetite, go for a Prince dog, a quarter-pound premium beef hot dog, or a King dog, half-pound. You can also choose a Polish sausage dog or corn dog. While the hot dogs are big sellers here, don't sleep on their burgers. The menu description reads 6-ounce fresh and greasy burgers, so they have to be good. Their menu also includes a variety of sandwiches, pimento cheese, bologna, chicken salad, a BLT, and other items. and sides like hush puppies, chili cheese fries, and onion rings. If you visit during the winter, warm up with a bowl of their homemade chili. And of course, they give the website kingshotdogs.com and their telephone number 336-969-4688. And again, that's kingshotdogs.com, making a big time in the Go magazine with AAA this month. So congratulations to them for finally getting a mention in a proper publication. Take a look at this, folks. I snapped these pictures, and we'll talk with Nate Diamond more about this as we move through the program. I was able to snap these pictures as I was trying to retrieve the ring bell that the Star City Roller Jody Osborne stole from the ringside table and used to absolutely decimate Gorilla Q at the end of the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship chain match, the Tennessee Violence Authority chain match that it was made into this past Saturday night. And look at those guys. They look like the two burglars on Home Alone, Smiling Diamond Dave and Stevie Riley there, I believe, who looks like they just got caught in the act. And they did. They were committing robbery on one Gorilla Q. And I think this may have been after the match ended, because it looks like Ty Tyson there, far left of your screen, already has the title. And look at the look on Jody Osborne's face. Dead center of your screen here. I'll bring my mouth. This guy right here. Look at that. I mean, they're just so proud of what they did to Gorilla Q. And Ty Tyson, of course, brand new AIWF Mid-Atlantic champion. I was able to snap those photos. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you some video up on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page very soon. Of course, continuing on the big event, next Saturday night, we'll continue with the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament. And again, glad Nate Diamond is here, because he played an integral part in the big match we had this past Saturday night. Is he and his teammate Josh Strong, collectively known as Diamond Intensity, got the win over a very tough team, Mount Kilpis, and they move on to face the Pink Gang in the semis. That'll be on July 17th. And the next match in that tournament is going to be on June 19th at Extreme Content, as Pro Wrestling's DNA will square off against High Profile. And on July 3rd, the last match in the first round, the Bad Men take on the Pineapple Express. And I know the Pineapple Express would certainly like a different outcome than they had in their first match. Also on the card that night, a submission match is finally coming to a head. Michael Spencer will take on Marvelous Mason Matthews. Let me get that right. The amazing Michael Spencer will take on Marvelous Mason Matthews in a submission match. And they're looking to settle this score once and for all. But these two have been in each other's throats for so long, I doubt very seriously that will be the end of it. Also, just announced just a few minutes ago from the offices of AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, I do believe this is for the title. According to what I've been told, I may be mistaken, but if I get corrected while we're on the air, I will let you know. No, I do have official confirmation from the AIWF offices. Ty Tyson puts his newly won AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship on the line against Matt Anderson. And of course, that is coming up Saturday, May 29th, bell time 7:30 p.m. Also from around the way, this one coming up down in Paris, Texas, June 5th at 325 Clement Road, Texas. Rising Star Wrestling presents Fatality. Ricky Reyes will be there, plus amongst others. Anyone under 17 must be with an adult. Wow, this might get a little extra violent there, it says here. So 325 Clement Road, Paris, Texas, June 5th. $8 gets you in the door there for Texas Rising Star Wrestling. And they're calling this one Fatality. So hopefully nobody actually dies in the ring, but you can never tell. Let's see, Saturday, May 15th. We're past that, and I didn't take it off the slideshow. My apologies. And of course, June 19th, Georgia Wrestling Extreme presents the Jerry Stevens Tribute Show, 313 Pine Avenue, Albany, Georgia. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30 p.m. Ringside $15, remaining ringside $12. Regular admission $10. All proceeds go to the Stevens family. So, and again, there is the email address. So let's welcome our guest, one Nate Diamond. Thank you for joining us, sir. So glad to have you with us.
It's an honor and it's a pleasure. I've looked forward to it all day and all week.
All right. Well, a couple of things. I know what you've probably got on your mind. And I've got a couple of questions I want to ask you about in light of what happened this past Saturday night. But I would also like to give the fans who may not be familiar with Nate Diamond, kind of basically your background, so to speak. Can you tell us about where you started, where you got trained, how you got interested in the wrestling business? What do you remember about your first inclination that you liked wrestling, and maybe this would be something you'd like to do?
To be honest with you, it all started back, like many of us, as a little kid, just watching it, and always grew up watching it. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to meet my mom's dad, and but through family and everything, they was like, "You're so much like him. Like you absolutely love this." And he looked so forward to Saturday nights watching it. So fast forward, growing up, it was always like Saturday morning, Saturday nights, all the pay-per-views. Kind of aging myself here, but I always grew up watching it, and always had that, like, man, I'd love to do this. I'd love to do it. And I guess actually, I'm going on my 11 years this year. So 11 years ago, I was actually, Ric Flair had just retired, and I went to an autograph signing of his, and it was a small independent show that they put on. He didn't wrestle or anything, just did the signing. And a couple of my friends, they kind of put me on the spot as we went up there. As I was walking up to the table, they was like, "Hey, like, how does one get involved in this? If you want to train, who do they need to see?" And so they directed me down this table to the gentleman, and most of you will know by the name of Iron Cross. And so I went to the table and met Iron Cross, and got to talking to him. And he went on to tell me that he was located in St. Paul, Virginia, at Samson's Gym. And the rest is history. I came back home, and I was like, man, you never know unless you try it. And so
Right.
I went, and the rest is history. That's how I got my start. I was trained by the Iron Cross.
Now, St. Paul, Virginia. I grew up in Virginia around Martinsville, but St. Paul, Virginia what part of the state is that in? I'm not familiar with it.
Russell County, Virginia. It's like from me, actually, and this was another thing. I mean, of all the places, and I mean, and from where I grew up, it was roughly about 45 minutes driving time from my house, and like I had no idea. So
Right.
It was practically in my back door.
Oh, okay. And where is your back door, by the way, just for those of us who don't know?
Bristol.
Bristol. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm on the Virginia side. I'm right on the line. I'm 15 minutes from the Tennessee line, but I reside on the Virginia side.
Okay, awesome. Another Virginia guy. This is 1, 2, 3 Virginia guys I've had on this show so far, and me being born and raised there, it's kind of cool. So that's awesome. So when you say you were a little kid, and you could date yourself as much or as little as you like, Nate. When you say you were a little kid when you discovered wrestling, what about what time period was that, and what promotion did you discover first?
Actually, for me, it was my time frame, and coming up in the 80s. It was about. I mean, it was for me. It was WCW. That's what my family and my cousins all watched. And so for me, it was WCW, and believe it or not, the one match or the one wrestler, obviously, Ric Flair was definitely it was him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and I got to watch one of their matches, and I mean, I was hooked.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you kind of gave me a good idea there. If you'd have told me Southeastern wrestling Knoxville, I would have said, "Wow, man, you're even older than I am." Because I'm always interested to see. I'm always interested to see where people first got the bug, and first came on board. Oh my goodness, Nate, you're not going to believe who I see that's just joined us. I believe Bad Brad has joined us. So,
hey, can you hear me?
oh yes, sir, loud and clear.
Absolutely, man.
All
It was an honor. I've got to say, Brad, before you say anything, man, it was just an honor to get to speak to you a few weeks ago and get to talk to you and everything. So it was really a big honor for me.
Hey, I really appreciate that, Nate. The honor was on me. You're such a professional, and I'm just thankful I got to meet you, and I look forward to calling your matches in the future.
I look forward to it. Look forward to it.
All right. So, Nate, you mentioned the experience that you've had and everything. You said you're going on what 11 or 12 years now.
11 years, yeah. I hope that I've got that right. I'm sure that somebody out there watching, they will definitely correct me if I've got it wrong. But I think that I'm on my 11th year this year.
That's incredible. Well, the old timers used to always tell me you're green until you pass your 10th year. So, but I'm going to tell you what, Nate, I got to be honest with you.
Let me say, Matt, I am on my 11 years, but I pride myself in saying this. And, 11 years, some might think that, that I've been around for a while and maybe so. But to me, every time I step into that locker room and I have the opportunity, I treat myself as if I'm a sponge, and I try to absorb everything from the legends that have paved the way before me.
Well, I can tell it, Nate, and because I want to tell you, when you told me this was on your 11th year, I was surprised. I figured you'd been into business just by your skill set, at least 20. I mean, because you are an incredible competitor, and I don't just hand out compliments like that freely, because if they come from me, Brad will tell you, if they come from me, I want them to mean something. And I've only been in the ring and for people to practice on. I've never wrestled in front of a crowd, thank God, and I think I'm too clumsy to do it, but I respect the risk that you guys take and get in the ring so much. And I'm telling you, folks, I said this when I discovered wrestling in 1986, and I'll say it to this day, there's nothing better in professional sports than a fine wrestling match. And I think,
amen.
Yep. So we're moving through the assignments again, but Nate, and I know Brad may have some questions for you regarding this too. Let's talk about what happened this past Saturday night. And Dorothy Gray, I see you there. If you've got a question or anything, hit the little thing down at the bottom where you can raise your hand, and I'll see it here on my monitor. And I'll if you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to.
Big shout out to Dorothy, by the way. Big shout out to Dorothy.
Oh, you know Dorothy, Nate?
Oh yeah. She is, her along with the rest of the Mount Airy fans, and we'll talk more about it. But they've kind of took me under their wing, and all the support that they have shown me and everything. It's just been outstanding. In the years that I've been there, and we'll get into that.
All right. But so let's talk about what happened this past Saturday night. First of all, congratulations on you and your partner, Josh Strong, moving into the semifinals of the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament, collectively known as Diamond Intensity. But you guys went up against a great team. It's Mount Kilpis. I had never seen them before in person, but they are a couple of raw-boned West Virginia boys from the mountains, and they gave you guys a tough test, man. They're bad news.
Yeah, Matt, Brad, I give respect where respect's due, and likewise, I actually didn't know what me and Josh were getting into. Neither one of us did. Hadn't heard much about these competitors, and they definitely they brought their A game. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I talked to them after to after the show, and of course they were dejected about losing. Of course, anybody would be, but they had such positive attitudes. They want to come back to AIWF Mid Atlantic. They had a good experience here. Even in defeat, and so that tells you something. If they're like, we'd like to come back here and wrestle some more. So obviously they see opportunity here, for make some money and get some titles. So we may not have seen the last of those two big boys.
I agree. I do not think that you've seen the last of those two guys.
And Nate mentioned something about the positive attitude in the locker room, and Nate, I know you've been a part of many different locker rooms, but I can say that just the feeling in the back right now is the AIWF Mid Atlantic area seems to have one of the best locker rooms around right now.
I totally agree, Brad. Totally agree. It's matter of fact, I made a comment I got confused, but I think it was 2 weeks ago now. But that when I was there, I made a comment in the locker room that to me it's home. They've welcomed me back, and I mean the fan and the outpouring and that locker room is just outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it a good time for me to throw in a question for Nate here? I've got one I've been thinking about all day.
Absolutely. Go right ahead, man. It's like the old Cable 6 days right here. Just
okay.
Let it fly, brother.
Oh, man.
This reminds me, I'm dating myself again, but it reminds me of the 900 number where you'd have to call in and.
Oh, man.
What was it? $1.99 a minute and then like 99 cents each additional minute?
So I guess I'm really dating myself if I tell you the rest of the number is 909-9900.
Yeah,
I know the whole number.
That's great. That's great.
Hang on, just so we don't get in any trouble with YouTube or Google or anybody to get through. That number is no longer active. Please do not dial that number.
Absolutely. Nate, one of the things I've been thinking about today is you were in upcoming in two high profile matches. One, of course, is the Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament where your team has advanced. But the other one is where you won the Sure Shot Rumble and you have a shot at Ty Tyson. Now, with that one of those being a tag match and one being a singles match, how is that pulling you as far as your preparation? I mean, that's two really big high profile matches, but two completely different mindsets.
And you're right. And we'll go into a little bit more detail regarding the match and with Ty, but there's a lot of personal issues there that I just think there's a lot of truth that's come out. I don't think that on both sides, Ty Tyson and our beloved commissioner has completely told the whole story. But as far as the tag team, Dangerous Don Carson, I mean, just to be in a bracket with a name like Dangerous Don Carson attached to it, that in itself, for me and Josh, and I think that he would agree, is that's great. That's an honor in itself. But for me to answer that truthfully, Brad, with everything that transpired at the last show, it's definitely weighed heavy. But I have a way, and I don't know. I can't really tell you how, but I know that I have a partner, and that we want some AIWF gold back around our waist, whether it be tag team or singles competition. But I'm focused.
Yeah, well, and I can say, I mean, I'm not part of the booking committee, but I can say the winners of the Don Carson Memorial Tournament would have to be in line for the tag titles. I don't see any way they
won't. And here's the thing, and I don't know if Matt has I think Matt, I've kind of followed the Ringside Wrestling, and he made the comment, but let's not forget that in that top tier, and actually I think that it's our next opponents.
Yeah, you're right.
The Pink Gang, and
Yeah.
unless I'm missing out, they are the current AIWF Tag Team Champions, and they have chose to defend this or defend the belts throughout the tournament.
Oh wow. Okay. That is something I didn't know. That just adds a whole new layer to the tournament. Right?
Yeah, and just to be sure, Brad, I have not been able to talk to the tag team champions to see if that they're going to do that all the way through the tournament, but they did in the first round. And yeah, I'm telling you, those
that's
guys,
some confidence right there. That's
yeah. And those guys have been fighting champions. I mean, come on, every time they show up, it's they put the titles on the line, so the Pink Gang is no slouches by any stretch of the imagination. They don't run from title shots. So I would imagine that those titles are going to be on the line every time. Pretty Boy Lane and Kent Wolf are, double tough competitors. So it could be, Nate, that your next title match, your next match in the tournament is for the title. So we will find out very shortly.
Okay, that's something to follow up on. That's great.
Yeah, and so speaking of Commissioner Dave, he has just sent me a message to let you know, Nate, specifically that he was watching and monitoring this program, and he was keeping an eye on you. So, yeah,
I'm glad Commissioner Dave is watching, because we'll get into it, but I have a lot to get off my chest.
Well, let's So look, let's do this real quick. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket right here, and then we're going to go back to those photos I was just talking about, because I know that ties directly with what you got to say, Nate. Here we go. The Pink Gang beat the Prodigies. That was a tag team title match, and of course, Diamond Intensity, Josh Strong and Nate Diamond, victorious over Mount Kilpis, on May 15th. The next matchup is not until June 19th at Extreme Content. Bottom right of your screen, there it is. Pro Wrestling's DNA against High Profile. And then on July 3rd, the Pineapple Express against the Bad Man. So, I mean, July 17th, the semifinals, you guys look like, if things keep going the way they are with the Pink Gang, your semifinal match could be an AIWF Mid-Atlantic title match, and then turn around, Nate, and the finals could be your first defense. It's entirely possible.
Wow. It is definitely possible. And, me and Josh, we pride ourselves on staying focused. And I mean, to watch Josh and everything, he is a go-getter. And a lot of people think that we're kind of different, and maybe we are different in a lot of ways, but we bring the best out of each other.
Absolutely. Now let's go back to these, criminal photos that I snapped Brad after they had stolen the belt from Ringside. Let's kind of review for the fans that weren't there this past Saturday night. As you can see, Gorilla at the bottom of the chain. The Bad Men came out to the ring with Commissioner Dave, and of course the Star City Roller, their new manager, Jody Osborne. And they knew there were no disqualifications of the chain match. The only way you could be disqualified in one of these matches is if you take the chain off your wrist. And they proceeded to just, what would you call it? A back alley mugging. They took the ring bell away from Ringside. They ran it into his throat. They dropped him head first onto it several times. And then the worst part about it was, in a chain match, you have to touch all four corners consecutively to win the match. And you got to drag your opponent. So the Bad Men, they pick up Gorilla Q and follow Ty Tyson around to all four corners, and he touches them and wins the title. And there you can see, they look like like I said earlier, the burglars on Home Alone. Like I just, took a picture of them stealing, from the toy store on Christmas Eve, right? Like, What are you doing? And then look at Jody Osborne right there in the center of the screen. He's just so happy with what he had just done. And, it was right after this, finally the troops came and saved the day, and got Gorilla Q out of there, but he's hurt so bad. they took him away right after this, and I haven't heard from him or seen him post on social media or anything. I don't know what kind of condition he's in.
Well,
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
Oh, go ahead, Nate.
no, go ahead, Brad.
That shot with the bell to the throat. That was one. That was a shot that I haven't seen since like Savage Steamboat back in the day. I mean that shot to the throat with that ring bell. From where I was sitting, I could hear the bell ring. I mean, that's how hard. And if you ever messed with a wrestling ring bell, you know you have to hit that thing pretty hard to make it ring. And it just, that was quite a shot.
Yeah, you better believe it. It was. I've seen a lot of disgusting acts in the AIWF over the many years I've been there. I know you have too, Brad and Nate. I know you, with your experience, you've seen a lot of dastardly deeds perpetrated in wrestling. This has to be top 5. I mean, it was highway robbery. I mean, you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on one. And this went on for several minutes until they just literally stole the title from him. And so, just a sickening thing. And then Nate tying into what happened after that. Then we have the Sure Shot Rumble. And you come away with the victory in that. And, which guarantees you a shot at the champion, whoever that may be, on down the line. I believe it is an Extreme Content. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It is that Extreme Content.
Okay, so that's coming up June 19. So you have your moment of victory. I actually come into the ring to do an interview with you because this is such a big deal. And, I'm fat and out of shape and easily to tip over these days. So I don't come in the ring very often, but this was a special moment, man. You could tell by the emotion on your face and everything. This was a big deal. You had survived a brutal, brutal battle royal.
Oh, yeah.
You're coming off your victory earlier that night in the tournament, and I couldn't get one word out of you. And then Ty Tyson comes to the ring, and I'll let you take it from there, Nate.
Yeah, first off, like I said, I'm no stranger to the AIWF. I haven't been there as long as several in the locker room, but back in I had to try to do some research myself, but I think I narrowed it down to, I think it was like the 2017 that I actually got invited to come to my first AIWF Mid-Atlantic wrestling match. But and throughout the years since 2017, I'm no stranger to Ty Tyson, and we've had our differences. And fast forward, there was actually like a light switch had went off, and me and Ty had kind of really got close outside of the locker room, and we had really kind of had a brotherhood. Most of the fans know that that Ty got injured, and he was on the shelf for a good while. And during that time, the distance between I'm several hours away, but I always when you create a brotherhood, especially in this business, and I think Brad and Matt, you can agree that it's like a family. And when you have this special bond between two, that it's you try to stay in close contact with one another and everything. So the truth that I want to get out before I go into the details of what took place on May 15th after the Rumble was the fact that me and Ty, we had text, called, and talked all the time. And then, when the injury took place, I would reach out to him and not get any responses. I would text and I wouldn't get any responses. And I'd text family members, wouldn't get anything back. And, I know the type of person Ty is. So I'm like, he's just trying to handle this all on his own and trying to recover so that he can come back. And I really didn't think much about it until he did come back. And unfortunately, it wasn't the Ty that I had known, especially the fact that he aligned himself with Commissioner Dave, and I know Commissioner's watching, and I'm sure that he'll have a lot to say. But the one thing that
he's saying a lot right now, Nate. He just told me, he sent me a message, said he did not stay in touch with Ty. I was the only one who did. That's what he just sent me a message.
Well, that is a complete lie. And I mean, I know that the fans know that he has no idea what I do on my personal time. So that's that. But, you know, the thing about it is this. Me and Ty, we've had our differences, and I thought things had moved past that. And, you know, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I was shocked. This business, I've learned a lot in this business. There's, you know, and I'm still learning. But the fact that I started seeing the actions of Ty, and especially how he even won the belt, it really bothered me, and I never could get Ty by himself to talk to him, and that leads up to what I want to describe as the truth. Is Commissioner Dave a few weeks ago made the comment that he was the only one that reached out to Ty, and that is false information. And I want the fans to think about something. We've heard Ty talk a little bit, but we've never really heard Ty's point of view on what took place and the people that truly reached out to him. I know that there's no past history with him and Tommy Pinarelli. And, you know, I know that we've all reached out. But whatever, and I don't know what it is that Commissioner Dave has promised Ty. Obviously, with the actions of May 15th, it pretty much is anything. He makes calls on the spur of the moment. And, you know, I'm not – the difference between the Nate Diamond in 2017 and the Nate Diamond in the last few years, and I think that the fans are a testament to this, and it's because of them, is that I'm different, and that leads me to what took place as you came in. His music hits. I can't even thank the fans, because you see, what people don't understand is I had came to a point with obviously 2020 and the effects that it's had on everyone. I'd actually came to a point where I questioned if it was time to hang it up. I had questioned whether the fans, not only in Mount Airy but other places that I'd been, if they were tired of the pink hair, if they were tired of getting their hair spray painted pink, the little kids and even some of the adults. I questioned that because I just didn't think, I don't know. I really didn't know if I had what it would take to climb the ladder back and to be in a championship status. And I'm going to back up just a little bit and talk about the match that I had prior to May 15th with Jamal the Titan. And and when I say this, it is truly, I had been away from AIWF leading up to coming back, and I got attacked by Jamal, and it led to our match for the television title, and I think he still currently is the television champion.
Yes.
But he had jumped me, and I had planned to come back, and I got to sit in the crowd one night, and I surprised Jamal. And I think it was a surprise to everyone, because I was under a hood, and I came into that ring, And I want every fan that is watching this to know that when I took that hood off, after giving him just a little bit of payback, I want those fans to know that's what solidified my answer, whether or not that I still had it, because I don't know that I've been in a arena, a gym, anywhere that that was completely surrounded by the chant of Nate Diamond, and that's a lot to say, and it's an honor to say that, and a big thank you to those fans. That being said, I just had a new vision. You know, I don't know how much more time I got, but I'm going to give it all I got, 110% every time I step in that ring. Not for myself, but for those fans that pay their good hard-earned money to come and to watch us. So that being said, I was hoping to get to have the opportunity to thank them. Ty comes out, his music hits, and once again, he gets in the ring. And honestly, the thought did cross my mind, Matt, was that how was I going to get you out of the ring? And secondly, was the truth going to come out? Was he going to actually talk to me for the first time? And as you all know, nothing was said. We got face to face with one another, and I think that he thought that it was the same Nate Diamond that he had seen in 2017, because he went to push me, and unfortunately, you know, as one would say, I didn't turn the other cheek. I proceeded to push back, and from there, it kind of, as they say, it got a little crazy.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it was Nate, I mean, let's be honest, and Brad, I think you'll back me up on this. That was a wild brawl at the end of that.
I did. I was speechless. I mean, you know, after after you guys were separated one or two times, you know, I thought that was it. You guys would not stop going after each other, and that was some emotion that I haven't seen in a long time.
And I agree. And I mean, a lot of the fans, you know, I got messages throughout the week after that. And some of them were like, you know, this is a different side of you. And, you know, the old Nate Diamond probably would apologize in some case, but I'll be honest, there was a lot of emotion there, a lot of personal emotion. You know, I don't think I owe Ty an apology. I think Ty owes a lot of the fans an apology, and you know, if he doesn't want to apologize to me, I've got tough skin. I think you all have seen some of the matches that I've been in, and you know, I'm ready, and you know, I'm not afraid of Ty. And if Ty is watching, you know, like I said before, you know, the emotions into it, but I hope he's ready for extreme content.
Well, Ty did reach out to me earlier this week, and when he found out that you were going to be on the show, Nate, he was very interested. He should be. He indicated to me that he would be watching. Now, I have not heard from him tonight, but I have heard from Commissioner Dave. And
of course, you can't hear from Ty without hearing from Commissioner Dave.
But I'm going to read you this, Nate. I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just trying to. Oh wow, that was a low blow. Okay, so the first thing he sent me, he says, ask Ty, he will tell you I was the only one. What I promised Ty is our business. If you stick your nose in, you could be the next gorilla. Everybody is tired of you, punk. And that's directed at you, Nate Diamond. And then he followed up. He was laughing about you, talking about your fans. He says, fans, all three of them, his wife and 2 kids, laughing out loud.
Wow.
I'll just let you go ahead and react to that live, Nate.
Well, first of all, I don't think that you don't have to hear it from me. I think that if you look at the AIWF fan base, and if you have not been to an AIWF show in Mount Airy, you can look on YouTube. You can now check into Roku, and I think that they say the proof's in the pudding, as they say, but I think I speak for the fans of the AIWF and my followers, and there's definitely more than three. But I will give him credit. My three biggest fans is my wife and my kids. So be careful what you say because Commissioner Dave, I'm not the same Nate Diamond, and I'm willing to fight, and I'm standing up not only for, I'm tired of, to be quite honest, I've had past history with several of the people that were in that picture, one being the very first guest that you had, and
Daniel Halen.
Daniel Halen. And, the thing is, I'm very aware of the bad men. I'm very aware of groups. It seems like that no one from the bad men can actually finish their own business. And apparently Ty Tyson, it takes six to defeat Gorilla Q. We talked about that picture, but let's talk about Gorilla Q. I mean, that night, Gorilla Q had Ty's number once again.
Oh, yeah.
And
I agree.
And I think if, in all honesty, it took those five others coming out there, or I don't think that belt would have changed hands.
I agree.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and get through. I promise I promotions, but I want to give you a visual aid of what we're talking about here. This picture, we're talking about Gorilla Q's already down. The match, I believe, is over at this point, and they continue to pummel him. It's just, it was a sickening display. Let's just be honest.
It was, yeah, it was.
And this is the way that that Commissioner Dave wants to handle business. I mean, Commissioner Dave, you need to know that I've done my homework. I'm not just any individual. Like, I do my homework. I am what I guess would say old school. I'm coming into this with eyes in the back of my head. I'm not going to take Ty for granted. I'm not going to take you for granted. And I'm sure not going to take the bad men for granted. I know that wherever Commissioner Dave and wherever Ty Tyson is, the bad men are, let's get real. Daniel Halen is all about the money. And so.
Yeah, he made that pretty clear when he was on with me. He's fighting for his wife and kids and will do whatever it takes to keep that coming. So, he pretty much made it very clear to me that he will stoop to any debt, to be successful in wrestling. Part of that I admire because he's so dedicated, but then again, when you're involved with this kind of stuff right here, I mean, this is just basically a back alley mug. And if it hadn't been at a sanctioned wrestling event, everybody would have walked away with assault and battery charges. I mean, it's just awful.
Well, and I have to say that I think I read Ty wrong over the last few weeks because his anger and emotion made me feel like he wanted to prove that he could beat Gorilla. And when I saw the way he won, I didn't understand. I really didn't think he would want to win that way. So I think I had read him completely wrong. It was all about the title. It wasn't about his revenge. It was about the title.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about to the end of that match. I think that you could see the Gorilla Q had took Ty to the limit because, it was all that, like Matt said, the bad men along with Commissioner Dave, they literally carried Gorilla Q around. And I think that you could see it was all that Ty could do to make it back around the ring just to hit the turnbuckles.
Right.
Yeah, and there he is. There's the aftermath. I just got another message from Commissioner Dave directed at you, Nate Diamond. Didn't do it good enough. You can get a knot on your head like I gave Gorilla with that chain wrapped around my hand in all caps. So now it's a direct threat, Nate Diamond. This is getting ugly.
Yeah. I think that half of the locker room is, and I mean, maybe I could be fined for this, and I really don't care anymore. I think that the fans in the AIWF that come out and pay their money to be entertained, I think that they are sick of it. You need to be a man, and if you're going to be a commissioner, I challenge you to be a commissioner and just keep your nose out of other people's business.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous that you think that you can just come in and change matches in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm appalled by the way that you are, I guess, kind of creating your own flock, so to speak.
It really is. But Nate, and you think about it, and head commissioner Rick Diesel appointed Kevin Phoenix as co-commissioner, but he wasn't there that night. So there was really no one to overrule Dave. And before you say, well, why didn't Rick Diesel do something? Why didn't Rick Diesel do something? He is a very hands-off type of person and likes to stay behind the scenes. Telling you, if he gets involved in rulings and matchmaking and stuff like that, it's going to be, everybody is going to suffer. It's like if you've ever been a part of a race team at a track, especially NASCAR sanctioned, and you thought somebody was cheating, right? So you start writing letters to NASCAR and you're complaining about the 42 car. They're cheating, they're soaking their tires, whatever. Eventually the officiating body, and this would be Rick Diesel in this case, gets tired of it and brings the hammer down on everybody. So what I'm afraid that the way this keeps bubbling up, if Kevin Phoenix is not able to counteract Commissioner Dave somewhat, and Rick Diesel has to get involved, it's going to be really bad for everybody. I don't think that's what anybody wants to see happen. I don't know, Brad, you've been around Rick Diesel a lot longer than I have. That's always been my observation by the way he officiates. You don't want him involved.
Yeah, you've hit that right, right on the money, and I think that your analogy about the racing is exactly on point, because that's what's going to happen, and it would come down on everyone. But that was one of the things I mentioned on commentary, was it seemed like Commissioner Dave was really having a field day because Kevin Phoenix wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that was a good observation, Brad. And Nate Diamond, Dave and I've got to, I'm kind of obligated to report this. He's talking about TVA style. He said, I don't think I know I can do what I want to do. I'm soaking the TVA style into Ty. And Brad, you were around during the heyday of the TVA. That's more than a threat right there.
It is. I mean, he just declared war, and when you have, Nate made a great point. Nate, when you talked about if Dave's going to be a commissioner, he needs to be a commissioner. And right now, he just declared war, old school on Nate Diamond.
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to having to battle. The old saying is, you get knocked down 7, you get up 8. And that's kind of been the story of Nate Diamond. I've always had to fight. Nothing has ever been given to me. To tell you a little bit about the reason why I'm not scared, like I'm not scared of Dave. I'm not scared of Ty. I'm ready for this fight. I'm ready. And I mean, it is going to be a fight. Matter of fact, I mean, it could be kind of similar to what we saw on May 15th, because I mean, I am coming head on. And to be quite honest, I think that the reason why, Matt, that you're getting these text messages from our good old commish is, think about this. The fact that I'm on this with you, Ringside Wrestling, and nothing that he said has got me wild or, riled up or, I'm taking it all in, Commissioner. And, it's one thing to say it, but when I step in that ring and I show you and I show Ty, it makes me believe that you might be a little scared for your buddy there too. And maybe you're trying to backpedal a little bit. But I'm ready.
And, interestingly enough, we were just looking at that last slide, Matt Anderson, who has a very, very rich history with the Bad Men, and he's up against Ty next Saturday night, the 29th, Memorial Day weekend. Don't want to miss it. He's got a title match with Ty. You may it, Nate. It's entirely possible. However, I got to say that Ty has got a group that is so well organized, and we see so much chicanery and skullduggery, whatever you want to call it. And Matt Anderson's coming off a broken ankle. It don't look good, and I have to think that if they get you in the same situation at Extreme Content, that's going to be bad. Is there any chance that you might organize with the others like Gorilla Q and Mickey Fulp and all these people who've been wronged by these guys? Because we see it week after week after week. They come to the ring with 2, 3, 4 extra guys who are constantly interfering in the match. And one referee can't keep an eye on them, and I mean, even 2 referees can't watch all this mess sometimes, especially with the Bad Men. They are just the worst. I mean, when it comes to outside interference, it's just incredible.
I totally agree because, I mean, it was just a little history that I was the Virginia at the time, which is now the television, AIWF television title. At the time, I was the Virginia heavyweight champion, and it took the Bad Men. I ended up facing Daniel Halen in Anything Goes match, and it took all 3 of them. Kind of, it was kind of deja vu to watch what happened to Gorilla because it brought back memories of what happened with me and Daniel, and they took me down. But once again, they knocked me down, and it took 3 of them to knock me down. But like I said at the beginning of this show, when I was talking, I was trained the old school way, and and I take pride in that. And they might have their tricks up their sleeve, but I've been around the block, and I do my homework. So just keep that in mind.
All right, Nate Diamond, thank you so much. Brad, thank you for joining us. We're out of time, folks, but this has been such a great conversation. Of course, with Dave sending me these messages, he just sent me another one, and he says, this is directed at you, Nate Diamond, but you have never battled anything like the TVA style. You need to think about that, you pink-haired, snot-nosed punk. Would you like to leave us with any final thoughts regarding Commissioner Dave in this situation?
The only thing that I'll leave you and I'll leave the fans with this is that you don't want to miss Extreme Content. And Commissioner Dave, you can say whatever you want to say, but I do my talking when I step between those ropes. And instead of talking to you, I want to address Ty Tyson. And I hope you're listening. Ty, I haven't forgot our past meetings. And come Extreme Content, you think what happened at May 15th, that was only the tip of the iceberg. I meant what I said. If I have to go to hell, we will go there.
Wow.
I
think it's fitting that this is going to happen at Extreme Content.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And be on the lookout, fans, about these, Ty Tyson and Commissioner Dave. It could be last minute stipulations. Ty Tyson has to get through Matt Anderson first, Memorial Day weekend. But with Matt being injured and the deck is really stacked against him.
It really is.
And so, and then Nate Diamond at Extreme Content, that one coming your way June 19th in Mount Airy. But we definitely want to see you at the matches next Saturday night. And of course, visit us all of our AIWF affiliates, not only the ones you see advertised here. Be sure to get out and support your independent local promotion wherever you may be watching. That's the way the indies make money, folks. It's still on live events, just like back in the old territory days. And again, for our affiliates, free advertising right here, folks. All you got to do is hit me up on Facebook or put your posters in the AIWF affiliate board. It's just AIWF Wrestling Network. Post it there. Hit me up on the side. There was some guy that sent me a friend request, but he has too many friends. I couldn't accept it. So please, guys, reach out to Rick Diesel. Reach out to Matt Classic. We'll put your advertising on here for free. And if you want some cheap advertising on the Roku channel, that is the email address, AIWF20@hotmail.com. So Nate Diamond, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Bad Brad, my new co-host. Guys, just a reminder, I am thinking about moving this start time of this program to 7 p.m. starting next week. So we'll see how that goes. I'll talk it over with the officials in charge at Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and the AIWF and see if they're okay with us doing that. But just something to make note of. Nothing official yet. But for Nate Diamond and AIWF Hall of Famer Bad Brad, I am Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for joining us for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. That's all for this week, wrestling fans. And until next time, to quote the great Bob Caudle, so long for now.
Good night, y'all.